Hi, I'm Paul Danziger. I'm a mesothelioma lawyer working with victims across the country, but focusing on places like New York and New Jersey who've been exposed to asbestos, and we've recovered hundreds of millions of dollars for our clients. I want to talk to you about one of our clients, John. He was diagnosed with mesothelioma, and in his fight for justice, he really suffered, but he was and we were victorious. John was born in 1940. He grew up in New York and New Jersey. He was the son of hardworking parents. His mother worked in a factory in New York, and when John was a boy, he was exposed to asbestos and insulation. His father held industrial jobs. After high school, John, like many patriotic Americans, enlisted in the U.S. Marine Corps. He served in the infantry. During this time, he was stationed at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. He lived and trained in buildings that were later found to contain asbestos in the insulation and floor tiles. After that, he spent time upon Navy ships during a Mediterranean cruise, where asbestos was used extensively in engine rooms, pipe laggings, and sleeping quarters. Like many servicemen of his generation, John had no idea he was being exposed to a deadly substance that would have stayed dormant in his body for decades. It's interesting to note that a significant amount of individuals who have diagnosed with mesothelioma served in the Navy or in the military. After leaving the Marines, John returned to New Jersey to build a career in the trades. In the late 1960s, he worked as a welder for the Herbert Sand Company in East Brunswick, New Jersey. There, John was regularly welded and cut metal piping and tanks coated with asbestos insulation. The heat from the torch sent clouds of asbestos dust into the air, dust that clung to his clothes and skin long after his shift ended. In the early 1970s, around 70 to 73, John worked for the Matlac trucking company in New Jersey. As a mechanic and a driver, he maintained the company's fleet of trucks, replacing asbestos-lined brakes and clutches, scraping off worn linings, and blowing out brake dust with compressed air. Each job meant more exposure to the fine asbestos fibers that filled the shop air and subsequently his lungs with this deadly, dangerous product. By the mid-1970s, John also picked up part-time work with the South River Bus Company in South River, New Jersey, doing mechanical repairs and maintenance. Once again, John handled brake work and engine gaskets, both containing asbestos materials, common in the 1970s. We often call these individuals who worked with brake pads shade tree mechanics, but John was actually a professional one. From around 1977 through the late 1990s, John worked for the American Can Company. As a millwright and machinist, John maintained and repaired industrial equipment, pumps, valves, lathes, compressors, and steam lines, all insulated with asbestos. He cut through the gasket, replaced packing on pumps, and worked shoulder to shoulder with pipe fitters and boiler mechanics, removing asbestos insulation by hand. All this was significant asbestos exposure. For more than 25 years, he worked surrounded by asbestos dust in enclosed mechanical spaces. It was invisible. You can't see the microscopic asbestos fibers, but you breathe them in and they get in your lungs. And this would later prove to be devastating to his health. In the early 1980s, John and his son Mike started a small side business called J&M Boilers, located in South River, New Jersey. They rebuilt old industrial boilers and removed worn insulation. Once again, not realizing that the white, flaky material coating these boilers was packed with asbestos. Each project added another layer of exposure that, decades later, would take John's life. John retired at age 62 and moved with his wife, Mary, to Goodyear, Arizona, hoping for a quiet life after decades of hard work. But sadly, in May 2025, more than 40 years after his first exposure, John was diagnosed with pleural mesothelioma, stage 3. He received care at Ironwork Cancer and Research Center in Chandler, Arizona, a fine place to receive mesothelioma treatment, under the care of Dr. John Liu, a respected thoracic oncologist. John endured treatment bravely, but his disease progressed quickly, and he passed away just a few months later on August 2025. In the weeks after John's passing, his son Mike looked for a New York mesothelioma lawyer or a New Jersey mesothelioma lawyer and contacted Danziger De Llano for help. Our firm immediately went to work. We met with Mike and reached out to his former co-workers to see how and when he was exposed to asbestos. That is the way you need to build a case to recover the maximum amount of compensation for the wife and the family. Using our asbestos exposure database, we confirmed asbestos use at almost every job site. We built timelines and guided the Horton family through every step of the legal process. We did this understanding that the family, because of their loss, needed compassion and care. The family takes comfort in knowing that justice was served, and John's legacy as a devoted husband, father, and Marine lives on. If you or someone has been diagnosed with mesothelioma, don't wait. Give us a call or go to our website, dandel.com. Thank you.